and I wanted to show you this video of what's going on in the Congo these days with cobalt mining, which is the main element that they need for making mobile phones and electric cars, which are being sold so heavily in the West, basically. And you know, we got people walking around in this country who talk about, you know, there's slavery and poverty going on here, when I don't think they fully understand on the level it's going on in other countries. So that was my main kind of reason that I want to show you this. But
I mean, as I'm an African. You know what I mean? I was born and raised in Africa. So I can tell you from my perspective, like here in the West, I live a privileged lifestyle. People in the West, they are completely disconnected to poverty. They actually don't understand poverty. They don't understand the hardships of poverty. They don't understand the pain that it causes people. They really don't understand. I find it laughable that a lot of people in the West talk about being poor when they have free healthcare, when they have free schools, when they literally have every level of government support that you can imagine. I would invite anyone in the West to go. I mean, I grew up with children that ate from garbage bins. Do you understand? So I would invite anyone in the West to go back to Africa or seriously live there, okay? And seriously immigrate there and live under that system and see the reality of what it means to actually. I'm not talking about the type of person that goes to Africa and then they think of, you know, and then they know that they've got like almost like a support plan back home. You know, they know that this is only for a certain amount of time. You know, I want someone to actually immigrate there and live under that reality. And then they will understand fully what it's actually to be an African. A lot of people in the West have no idea what poverty really is. They are talking nonsense, pure nonsense. They don't know what it really means to starve. They don't know what it really means to not have any idea of what your future is going to look like. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's my opinion on that, bro.
Let's have a little look. So when you got when you got cars using fuel,
That's right. Yeah.
fuel is not such slavery intense as stuff like that, and you bring a new car in that's going to use electric and needs this component for it. Can you see where their selling point on electric cars saving the environment is actually completely missing out this point of the way you're going to mine for that mineral that's going to make your electric cars.
Why don't they just pay them a decent amount of money?
That's it. They could.
Why don't they just
make conditions good?
Yeah.
And pay them well.
That's the part that I don't get.
Yeah.
Why don't they just do that?
I think that's the evil part of humans. Basically, they can see a situation which they can exploit.
But I want to look at the reasons why. I want to look at why they won't do that.
I mean, that's it. Basically, I thought it was. I mean, there's other documentaries you can watch. Watch on it, but yeah, cool. All right, should we watch something else?
Yeah, go ahead.
Would you want me to type in? Or?
Oh my days! No. I'm still thinking about the
Cobalt.
that video, that Cobalt video.
Yeah, sorry, it's a bit shocking. It's a bit.
Yeah, I need to do some serious research on that.
Yeah. I probably need to do a bit more as well. But
it brought back some memories, and it just made me realize how privileged I am.
Yeah, me too. That I was when I first saw it, and I've seen a few of these. I was completely shocked as well, and I was like, I don't think, and it's something that I haven't heard about. I don't hear people talking about this.
No. I'll be honest with you.
It's a hidden thing.
I've heard about Cobalt, but I've never. I can count on my fingers the amount of people I've heard it from.
Yeah,
I would say about 3 or 4 people that have mentioned it. This is not something that I hear consistently all the time. This is not news to me. You know what I mean? Like, news would be you're hearing it every single day.
Oh,
so on and
it's
so
it's
forth.
pushed under the carpet.
Yeah, yeah. It's as if, and no one ever mentions it. And the fact that you brought it up, as you know, I wasn't even expecting this today.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it brought memories from back home, Kashitu, where I grew up, and because I wasn't in poverty, but I saw poverty because my mom used to feed those children and I used to play with them, and you know, and just to see that this is now a reality in Africa. I mean, it's like things haven't changed.
Things haven't changed, and it's another point with this slavery thing. If you hear people still seem to go on about slavery from the olden days, it makes less. It almost kind of degrades people going through slavery now, because we just had the World Cup in United Emirates.
Yeah,
the people who made all the stadiums
yeah,
were all slaves from India and Bangladesh and Pakistan and those countries. And yeah, they were slaves to make the stadiums, but they've been slaves in that part of the world for a long time, and they still are.
yeah.
And it's just something people mention once. You hear about it like in small snippets once or twice. It's happening all over. So, in North Korea produces sex slaves for China. And it's. I don't think it's ever stopped.
I think only a slave knows what it's like to be a slave.
Yeah.
I'm tired of people who talk about other people's lifestyle as if they are going through it themselves. That's why I say only a slave knows what it's like to be a slave.
Yeah.
People in the West are not slaves.
Yeah.
The fact that they would use, to me, I find it offensive. I find it offensive that a black person will try to equalize himself to the level of suffering that a real slave has gone through, and claim some kind of, I don't know, moral superiority over that, when you haven't gone through that level of hardship, when you haven't gone through that level of suffering, that pain, that distress.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can speak like that because when I went through the war, I know what that feeling of I can die at any moment. I know the feeling of desperation. I know the feeling when you feel literally completely naked. You are literally at any moment you can die. You are literally at the mercy of another human being, and there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing anyone around you can do about it. There is nothing you can do about it. That level of desperation when you feel like it's so hopeless, it's so empty, and you give in because there's nothing you can do about it. I can't say that anyone here in the West goes through that. No, you don't. But I find it disrespectful that they can even equalize their hardships today to the suffering of slaves.
Yeah, it's a very strange thing, and it's kind of an extreme example of the victim. People using this victim
mentality.
Victim mentality. That's it.
It's very narcissistic.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. It's just narcissistic as hell. For you to try to claim you know something when you don't know that there's something. You don't know it's like slavery still exists today.
Yeah. It's all over the world.
But they're still talking about slavery that happened 500 years ago.
Exactly.
Sorry. It went on for 400 years. Sorry. They still talking about that slavery. So you didn't go through that slavery, and you haven't even gone through the level of poverty that normal African people go through in Africa. You haven't even gone through that level of poverty, let alone Slavery is much worse than that. So if you haven't gone through that, how can you talk about slavery? I just find it disrespectful.
Yeah, it is.
I find it disrespectful. Just watching this video, it just tells me, first of all, that on a personal level, that my people are still going through it. That there's still corrupt governments in Africa. That the West is still exploiting it. That's what that lets me know. And it's all for what? So that people can have mobile phones here.
That's it, yeah. That
Don't get me wrong. Mobile phones, you know, mobile phones are... for example, you can communicate quicker with mobile phones. You can get things done quicker. You said the Romans, they built roads, and that's how they were able to conquer a lot of nations, because they built roads. Do you see what I'm saying? So, you know, that was a form of communication type thing, you know? And mobile phones are very similar to that. Do you see what I'm saying? But regardless, bro, morally speaking, it's just what people use mobile phones for today, and the sacrifice that people the pain, the desperation that people are facing for the enjoyment of someone else here in the West, you know, I just find that wrong. I just find that wrong.
You look like you could use a drink.
I could use a drink.
Yes, thanks.
Eddie Barzoon, Eddie Barzoon. I nursed him through 2 divorces, a cocaine rehab, and a pregnant receptionist. God's creature, right?
Right?
God's special creature. And I've warned him, Kevin. I've warned him every step of the way. Watching him bounce around like a fucking game, like a wind-up toy, like 2.
I just gotta say, I love it. I love watching these things, because like the way they're filmed on film, and just the color and everything, it reminds me of how they used to make movies.
Yes.
Like this kind of reminds me of Godfather.
Yes.
Also with Al Pacino, and it's that era, isn't it? That era of the late 90s.
Yes.
Raw. They gave it to you raw.
They gave it to you raw. Yes. No chaser.
250 pounds of self-serving greed on wheels. The next 1,000 years is right around the corner, Kevin. And Eddie Barzoon, take a good look. Excuse me. Because he's the poster child for the next millennium.
Stop there. He's the poster child for the next millennium.
The guy doing all that.
It's literally a prophecy about what's going to happen in the future. He's saying that, look at Eddie Barzoon. Yeah. I think he said self-serving greed on wheels or something like that. He used that, you know, and he's saying that is the human being that you'll basically, that's how human beings will become in the future.
Yeah.
Eddie Barzoon.
It's going to be normal.
He's the poster child.
Yeah.
For the next millennium. And that's what we're seeing today.
Yeah.
These people, it's no mystery where they come from. You sharpen the human appetite to the point where it can split atoms with its desire. You build egos the size of cathedrals, fiber optically connect the world to every eager impulse, grease even the dullest dreams with these dollar green, gold-plated fantasies until every human becomes an aspiring emperor.
Stop. We have to comment on that.
Every human becomes an aspiring
emperor. Through ego.
Yeah.
Isn't that what's happening?
Yeah.
Narcissism is at its highest level.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
People are so narcissistic today. You sharpen the human appetite until it can split atoms. That every single human being becomes an aspiring emperor, becomes its own god. That is the definition of narcissism.
Yeah.
Literally, that is the definition of narcissism. What are we seeing in society today?
That's it. Narcissist everywhere.
Narcissism is growing. People are so narcissistic. They literally think it's almost like they're being subconsciously programmed to believe that they are their own God.
Yeah.
Like, imagine your ego being so big that you think you are your own God. Now, we both know that we're just human beings, right? We're going to die one day. We get sick, we get old, we die. But imagine having an ego, a godlike ego. It's crazy.
It's crazy. You know, it's I've got to say, it's the, I think this has all come in with the television almost like being the god of the home.
It is.
It is, and kids are put in front of the television and now in front of the iPads and phones as a way to distract them, so the parents can, you know, do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
So,
well said, bro.
It's his own God. And where can you go from there?
Hey, wrong way. Yeah. Fuck you.
And as we're scrambling from one deal to the next, who's got his eye on the planet? As the air thickens, the water sours, even the bee's honey takes on the metallic taste of radioactivity. And it just keeps coming, faster and faster.
even the bees taste of like
you heard that, right?
Yeah.
So he's basically saying that the consequences of that level of thinking, of those actions, it will even cause the planet. You see what I'm saying? It will even hurt the planet.
Yeah, the planet's. He's right.
Yeah.
The planet's on a decay.
Yeah. Because why? Because immorality. People are immoral. People no longer know what's right from wrong. It's all about, I want to be happy. That selfish, vain mental state. That's crazy. That is crazy. This is literally a prophecy about what's going on today.
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
I'm gonna have to rewatch this, I think, tonight.
Yeah.
Because
Me too.
I've forgotten about it.
There's no chance to think, to prepare. It's buy futures, sell futures, when there is no future. We got a runaway train, boy. We got a billion Eddie Barzoons all
Runaway
jogging
train.
into the
billion
future.
Eddie Barzoons.
Every one of them getting ready to fist fuck God's ex-planet, lick their fingers clean as they reach out toward their pristine cybernetic keyboards to tote up their fucking billable hours. And then it hits home. You gotta pay your own way, Eddie. It's a little late in the game to buy out now. Give me your watch.
What? I like this watch. You think you're just gonna have to try and take it?
Your belly's too full, your dick is sore, your eyes are bloodshot, and you're screaming for someone to help. But guess what? There's no one there. You're all alone, Eddie. You're God's special little creature. Maybe it's true. Maybe God threw the dice once too often. Maybe he let us all down.
That is amazing.
I'm gonna watch it again tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to watch that. I like it. It's a runaway. It's a runaway train. It's basically there's nothing we can do about this now. It's overtaken.
Yeah. It's overtaken. Yeah.
And I can see. I can kind of see that.
Oh, it's done now, bro.
It's done.
It's done. Even the Bible prophesies about it. It's like I'm not here trying to save the planet. Like a lot of people need to understand this. I'm not here trying to say you can't save it. I'm here trying to save souls. Like the Christian life. The Christian life is about accepting the suffering that's coming. It's not about this nice little happy life. Standing up for what's right can get you killed. It got Jesus killed.
Yeah.
It will get you killed today. Standing up for what's right people will hate you for it. This is why I'm doing this podcast today, bro. This is me accepting my fate as a Christian. But I know if I don't do this, people will not wake up. I don't hope to change society. I hope to change people. And if I can reach one person, the Bible says that if you had 100 sheep and one of them went missing, wouldn't you leave the 99 to look for that one sheep?
No.
You wouldn't. Well,
I don't know.
what Jesus is saying is, you would leave that one, the 99 to look for that one sheep that went missing.
Yeah.
Because it's like, where did it go? Where's my sheep gone?
Yeah, but I'd be worrying about then losing the 99 sheep.
Yeah, but check the thing. No, remember, sheep follow.
Oh.
So you had 99 sheep. So 100 sheep that were following you, and one of them went astray. Remember, you've got a shepherd, and then there's a sheep. There's a sheep. The sheep followed the shepherd.
Okay.
Right? One of them went astray, so he's concerned. As a shepherd, you're concerned. Why did my one went missing? So because he's preoccupied about it, he goes and he searches for it. And when he finds it, he has more joy over finding that one sheep that went astray than the 99 sheep. And then he links it with, there's more joy in heaven over one sinner that repents than 100 people that think they are right. That's the analogy. So I'm not here to trying to convince the entire world. I'm here trying to save that one person, because even in the Bible it says there's more joy in heaven over one person that realizes the truth and comes to the truth over 99 people that think they are right and they are all lost. So my job on earth is not to change society, but to change that one or two people and get them to basically come to God, because earth is doomed. There's no utopia. There's no utopia for earth. That's not happening. We are getting worse. We're not getting better. And like you said, a runaway train, right?
It's a runaway train.
It's gonna get worse.
You can't stop it.
You can't stop it. It's not something that you can stop. It's not something that one day. This is not an action movie where where the hero comes at the end and he saves the entire situation. It's not like that. Not even close. This is real life, and this is real evil that people are dealing with. And it's destroying society, and it will continue to do so because it has an agenda. It wants what it wants from society, and it will get what it wants. So what's the solution? We always come to that question. What is the solution?
Save the souls you can save.
Save the souls you can save.
And yeah, and the rest are on the runaway train.
Yeah, because the only thing that's promised is death. That's the reality of humanity. So right now we are full of life. But that's a fantasy, because you're going to die.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the only certainty.
And the world will carry on.
Yeah.
But what's the purpose of existence? Don't get me wrong. If I was to die and that was it, then I did what I did. I lived a nice little life. I'm not on the Cobalt mines. I'm not out here. Do you understand what I'm saying? I think we lived a good life, mate.
Yeah.
You know,
we're lucky.
We're lucky. We're very
We're
lucky.
the lucky ones.
We're the lucky ones.
Yeah.
But most of the world ain't lucky. Most of the world live real harsh lives. Real harsh lives. Okay. Listen, if there is no God, then guess what? I lived a nice life. I'm sorry about you lot. When I die, at least I lived a good life. Then that means there is no justice. That means you can do whatever you want to do. See, when you remove God, you can do whatever you want to do. And it's who's lucky and who's lived his best life, which is coincidentally or incidentally how everyone else is living today. They're living by that motto. My best life.
Yeah, that's it. My best life.
My best life.
My best life where everything and anything can be justified.
Anything.
You're
Sex is natural.
yeah, exactly.
Without dealing with the real consequences that sex brings. That is your best life, bro. People will justify anything in order to satisfy. My only issue with that line of thinking is, well, who created you? Who created the first human being? My mom and dad created, Who created the first human being? If it was a God that created your human being, that created the first human being, and not nature, then boy, that means death isn't the end.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my bro.
That's it. It's a nice.
It's been an amazing podcast. Yeah.
It is. So yeah,
Let's end it, bro.
That's a good way to end it as well.
Come on, bro.
That's it. Solution reactions.
The solution reactions, man. Come on, bro. We're here, man. We're here.
All right.
We're here. Love.